before we start this episode of Power of Bourbon, we got to fill you in on some awesome new things coming your way. So to start off March, we're going to do a giveaway, the first giveaway of the channel. And what better thing to coincide it with other than March Madness? And when you think March Madness, college basketball, of course, but bracket challenges. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our own bracket challenge, and we're going to do a giveaway. So how you enter into this free giveaway, you got to do three things for us. One, you got to download the bracket, and I will link it in the description of this video. Two, you got to hit like on this video. And then three, you got to be subscribed to our channel. You do those three things and you're entered. So just like normal March Madness pools, we've set up our own bracket, and that's what this video is about, is we have ranked all the different bottled and bonds bourbons that we're going to go head to head and see how well they do. If you get the most right, you win the prize. What's the prize? I make handcrafted bourbon lamps. So what we're going to do is I got a special bottle, a Wild Turkey Decades bottle, and I'm going to make a bourbon lamp out of it. So to the winner, you get this, and it's going to look similar to this right here. All right, so if you want to enter, again, all you got to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, and then download, fill out the bracket, and email it back to us, which you can find in the About section. If you want to find out more about what we're doing with this channel and everything like that, check out our brand new Patreon page. We got our brand new Glen Cairns in, and we've got tons of prizes and everything that we're going to do in the future. So if you're a Patreon subscriber, you're going to know about this before anyone else, and we're probably going to do some Patreon exclusive stuff. So without further ado, hope you enjoy the video, and it's us seeding our bottled and bond bracket. So what we decided to do, what we thought would be fun for March to kind of like coincide with March Madness, is we are going to do a bottled and bond bracket, and we're going to see what we decide is the best bottled and bond. So with that, we have to have our actual contenders. So our contenders are Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond, and these are all bottles that we have personally bought at MSRP, either looking around, exploring, things like that. Dickel Bottled and Bond, Henry McKenna. Chuck has one and I have one. 1792. All three of us have a 1792 Bottled and Bond. Chuck has a 1792 store pick, so we're going to put both of those in there. E.H. Taylor, of course, you can't have a Bottled and Bond off without that. Early Times, Old Forester Bottled and Bond, which is
that's the 1897.
Correct.
Okay, so our old full
That's
expert.
The Bottled and Bond Act was in 1897.
There we go. The
History
and bourbon coming together in perfection.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Olfo.
Which none of us are a history professor or teacher, so that's kind of funny that we know that.
We can't appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah.
The new players on the board are New Riff and 80 Laws. And then
the 80 Laws is a
6-year.
4 grain.
Okay, 4 grain, 6-year bottle and bond.
Also bottled and bond.
The, of course, tried and true that you can only get in Kentucky, JTS Brown. The tried and true that people overlook but is amazing, which is Evan Williams. And then another tried and true for Kentucky only, Very Old Barton. And the true tried and true, which is Old Granddad Bottled and Bond.
Sure, that's a tried and true.
So for those of you that weren't like writing down.
Did you get Very Old Barton?
I did.
Okay.
So for those of you that weren't doing what you were supposed to do, because there are 2 teachers in this stream and taking notes, shame on you, but that comes out to be 16 different bourbons. So what we're going to do is we're going to place them head to head. We are going to release videos along the way, and then for our first ever live stream, we are going to live stream the top 2 against each other. And then down the road, when we finally, the 3 of us meet up, unless we can talk Chuck into it, we are going to take the champion and compare it against the William Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond 2020
Yep.
William Heaven Hill edition, because it is absolutely amazing and deserves to go all the way to the finish without
It just would not be fair. If it was in the bracket, it would just be like all the way through. So
yep. And our bracket, really, if you look at it, the highest bottle on the bracket is probably the
highest price
80
bottle.
Laws at $50 to $60.
$50 to $60. Yep.
Yeah.
No, the 80 Laws, that one's like an $80, $85 bottle.
Okay, so $80 for the 80 Laws. Everything else is 50 or lower. So these are absolutely like bottles anybody can afford at any point in time when you're going to look. So it's an everyday bracket and everything like that. So what we're going to do tonight,
a few of these are fairly limited, like the Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond is always available everywhere. Dickel, obviously the McKennas have gone crazy as of recent. E.H. Taylor, of course, being Buffalo Trace, has its own. But if you work hard enough, all of these are accessible.
Yeah, there's not a single bottle on this list that honestly isn't accessible if you're willing to try. I would say at most it would take maybe 3 months to get it. Tops.
Yeah, with some patience.
Yeah.
And geographic proximity to Kentucky.
Yeah, that is a very fair point, Brian. You have to be close to Kentucky for some of these.
So the format is, I have a spreadsheet going. So we're all going to, we'll three rank them.
Yeah.
And then we'll do an average ranking, and I'll sort them by the lowest average. And that will be the consensus number one, assuming we all agree to that. But that's how we'll do it. So,
So what we're going to do is we're going to rank these. I'm going to go first. Brian is going to then say what his thought is, and then Chuck's going to finish it. And then we will go through all of this and then argue why Brian's wrong on any of them that come out controversial. So my number 16.
Hey. Hurtful. Yes,
truthful.
True, but hurtful nonetheless. Sir.
We're men. We don't care about feelings. Thank you. Move on. So my number 16.
Wow. That hurts.
So my number 16, I am going to go the Old Granddad Bottled and Bond.
Okay.
Ooh. No. That's
controversial, but I agree.
Brian?
Hey.
Who's your Wolford right now? Who's your, who's going to take out the number one seed?
Well, my 16 seed is Very Old Barton.
Ooh.
Very Old Barton. That is also my number 16.
Ooh.
I don't think they really have the firepower or the 3-point potential to knock off the number one seed, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, they typically play in a lower division. I think the competition is going to get to them early.
Yep.
I think they're going to be starstruck. Really, they're going to go up against heavier competition in the first round, and they're going to be, asking for autographs halfway through the first quarter, the first half, and boom, game over.
All right. We will see. I'm excited. So my number 15 is the Very Old Barton.
My 15 is Old Granddad Bottle and Bond.
My 15 is also Old Granddad Bottle and Bond. So therefore, we have our 15th and 16th seed already set.
Mm-hmm.
Old Granddad is 15, and Very Old Barton comes in 16. So those will be facing off against number 1 and number 2 seed to be determined.
And those aren't bad for their price range necessarily, but they just
here you go again, like letting them down easy. No, they're the 15 and 16 seed. They're lucky to be in this tournament.
Number 14 for me is Old Tub, which is kind of new this year. Here in Louisville, we've been able to see it, and we've seen it for a while, but it had its first national release thanks to COVID from Jim Beam, and it is their Bottle and Bond product, and it's pretty good. Yeah,
so actually 14 for me is Old Tub as well. I I struggle. Actually, I had this ranked when I was looking at things earlier. I had it ranked a little bit higher, moved it back. I was impressed with it, but at the end of the day, compared to some of the other stuff on this list, 14.
I had this 14 as well. Yeah, I think when we tasted this and rated it, not bad for the product and price values in the ballpark, but that Jim Beam peanut note comes through and just doesn't hang with the rest of them. So 14th, and that is the unanimous 14, which is for all three of us to agree. I just want to take a moment and recognize that it rarely occurs.
Yeah. Yeah. If you watch a lot of our videos, you'll realize we do not often agree. It does happen, but not
It's
a
like
lot.
the plant Saturn and what was the Christmas star this year all coming together. It only happens like once every 250 years.
Yep.
Was it Jupiter and Saturn? Right?
Yeah. Well, and I would say usually the swing vote is Brian. Usually, if Chuck and I agree, Brian agrees. If Chuck and I disagree, Brian's the one that has to choose one of us.
It's how I feel important. I love being the swing vote. It's like everyone's wanting my attention. Everyone wants me to like be their friend. It just feels
13.
good.
Moving on. TJ.
Evan Williams, Bottle and Bond.
Ooh, okay. I have to disagree, sir.
Brian, you're 13.
JTS Brown.
Whoa. Okay, I'm going to agree with TJ. I had 13 as Evan Williams, so we'll just hold off on finalizing our 13th seed. What do you have as number 12, TJ?
JTS Brown.
Interesting. Okay.
So then my 12 is actually Evan Williams.
And my 12 was New Rift.
Oh,
Ooh.
we got some deviation going on.
Oh, sir, I would
A little, maybe
disagree
a little bit
by
of like the
a
unknown.
few spots on that one.
I just haven't had that New Rift. I've had some New Rifts that are just phenomenal. If you watch the channel enough, you know that TJ's got the Balboa Rye and the Maltsters, which are phenomenal. I'd recommend those any day of the week. But this particular one, I've had some of their single barrels and just haven't been impressed. And maybe this is like the team that I just haven't seen play enough, or they haven't played against enough national competition. That's kind of where I'm at on this one. So that's where I ranked it number 12.
Yeah. But I mean, I'll be honest, I'm a few spots higher on that. Spoiler alert. But it's just, reputation for some of the stuff they've done. Maybe they're that team. They're like the Notre Dame of college football. They always get ranked higher than they deserve, just based on reputation.
Wow, we're just
I thought they had the really nice gold helmets.
Yeah, and the shiny helmets. That's right.
All right, so number 11, I'm going to break somebody's heart, but I got to do it, and I'm putting 80 Laws at number 11.
You are so wrong, sir. I'm going to call it. I don't know what that's ranked up against, but it's going to win.
Oh,
I'll tell you that
calling
right
the early upset right here.
Early upset.
Brian, what do you got? Number 11.
So number 11, this is painful.
Old Forester?
It doesn't feel good, but I tried to be as objective as possible. Maybe I went too far.
It's going to be the old
Brian, just go.
It's the Old Foe. I have Old Foe Bottle and Bond.
You ranked the Old Foe 1897 below early times. 80 Laws and New Rift. That's not necessarily surprising. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I think below the early times is probably the biggest surprise there.
Yeah.
Although you own this bottle, so you've tasted it more than anybody else, so you should know this.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Brian, do you personally own an early times?
I do not.
Okay.
So I'm going on reputation. I'm going on a couple things I read.
No, but he's ranking it above the 80 Laws. He's ranking it above the New Rift. Like, to me, I was giving Old Forester a little bit more cred.
Oh, I gave it a lot more.
Their 1920 is my standby. That's my everyday drinker.
Yeah.
In the cabinet. I have some
I
lower proof single barrels that's really good.
I might have gone too far and not trying to be an Old Foe fanboy. But this was the point, like once I hit 11, I feel like I just had really good things to choose from that point on. and difficult decisions started to happen. And so that's where we got Old Foe alone.
All right. Well, number 10, TJ.
What was your 11, Chuck?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to gloss over that because it's the same as yours, 80 laws.
Okay.
And Brian was just going to get upset about it. So
I appreciate it.
No, you guys can be wrong. I can be right for a change.
So
I'm fine with that.
my number 10,
majority rules in this instance.
and that's the great thing. There's 3 of us, so there will always be a winner.
Yeah, and it opens up hey, Brian, if it in the bracket, if 80 laws hangs, that's the upset, right? I mean, that's
right.
March Madness. What's March Madness without some upsets?
Nothing. I'm not gonna lie. Like looking at the list, if there was anything on the list I expected to be an upset, 80 laws is what I'm going with.
I think the only upset that 80 laws is going to bring is when Brian is upset because it loses.
All right, so
Again,
my
you can be wrong.
My number 10 is New Riff. I love New Riff. They got great products, but there's a lot of really good things with distilleries that have been doing good stuff for a long time above it. So yeah, New Riff's number 10.
Brian?
All righty. So number 10 for me, 1792 Bottle and Bond.
What the?
Well,
Loved
I mean, I do. I mean, it's not bad. It's a top 10 Bottle and Bond. Like,
I think it's higher than top 10. Anyway, my top 10 was JTS Brown. So you guys had that as 12, 13. I had that as 10. Thought it was a little better than 80 Laws and New Rift, but we'll find out. I could see that flip-flopping, but you're in that 10 to 12 group, so I feel okay with that. All right, number 9, TJ.
Number 9 for me is, and I haven't had it yet, but I trust the name brand that they're going to do right stuff, and that is going to be the Old Foe.
Okay. Brian.
So I got flack for 11 at Old Foe. You go 9. It's 2 spots.
That's 2 spots. That's big 2 spots.
Okay. Yeah. Number 9, I have New Riff.
That's acceptable. I can agree with that.
Yep. So so that locks us in. Sorry, on our 13th and 12th place now.
Okay.
13th place is Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, and 12th place would be JTS Brown.
Okay.
And actually, 11th is New Rift, and 10th is Old Forester 1897. So we have our 10 through 16 seeds complete.
So what's your number 9? Because you forgot to tell us.
Yep, my number 9 is Early Times.
Ooh.
Really?
Yep. So that's the lowest ranking for the Early Times thus far. So it's going to be that or above.
I can't believe you ranked Early Times number 9.
You know, it's good, but I mean, I don't feel bad about it at all. I think everything that I ranked above it, maybe the Old Forester 1897 would be the only thing that, hindsight might be close. But I think the 1792s, the E.H. Taylor, the McKenna's, the Heaven Hill, all that's better. No doubt.
Putting Early Times as number 9 is just sacrilege. My number 8 is Early Times.
Brian?
So
you had 1792 as number 10. So what are you gonna put the 1792 store pick as number 8?
Probably.
I actually am. Yes, I am.
No. Are you serious?
Hey, it's my bracket. I can do
Everyone
what I
is
want with my
entitled
bracket.
to their opinion, even if it's wrong.
I can do what I want with my bracket. Thank you very much.
TJ, we have a 2/3 majority. That's all I hope carries this. My number 8 was Old Forester 1897, which that's already finalized as our 10th seed.
Yep.
So TJ number 7.
E.H. Taylor.
Whoa! Whoa!
Okay.
Whoa!
Time to give that man the stuff, because for all the flack
Yep.
I've taken from my rankings, E.H. Taylor at 7.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Brian. Wow, that is.
Wow. Do you still trust
okay.
his palate? Do you trust his palate now?
And we
Come
did
back to my side. Come home,
Yeah.
Charlie. Come home.
I'm coming home because we did some preparation for this bracket over the weekend, and I mean, I was tasting these things side by side, and no way this is number 7. But
Yeah.
hey, I'm all for the underdog, and if it needs to be an upset, it will be.
Yeah, you know, and you know, maybe possibly just in the back of my head with my old foe ranking, I was just trying to get on the upset train, you know. I was just wanting to, like, well, maybe old foe can upset, make some noise, you know. I'm not saying I consciously did that; it could be a subconscious, because everyone
We
loves
got
a
number
Cinderella
7.
story. Number 7, early times.
Okay. So that locks in early times as our number 9 seed, which, to be fair, I ranked at number 9, just for accuracy standpoint.
Okay.
My number 7 was 1792, just straight bottle of Bourbon.
All right.
Okay.
TJ, number 6.
1792 regular.
So that locks that in as our number 8 seed.
Number 6 for me was the 80 Laws 6-year 4 grain.
And that locks it in as our number 7 seed.
Where it belongs.
To be fair, TJ and I both ranked that number 11.
Yeah.
So that might be
and you are both wrong.
In the Wall Street world, that would be a stock that is overvalued.
Hold on. I just want to point out, and I am super excited now.
Underappreciated.
We have 10v7 is 80 Laws versus Old Foe, which means Brian has to
Yes.
Oh no.
This could not be planned better. This is amazing.
So
You
for
did
those
this,
of
Brian.
you that
You did
have not
this.
been watching, Brian's
Oh.
2 go-to bourbons are 80 Laws and Old Foe, meaning they have to go against each other, and he
First
has
round.
to choose one of them.
Oh. No. Why did I not think of that? Oh.
Oh.
Oh, I am so excited to do this.
And this is also a little bit of like, if there's an upset as far as seeding, it kind of proves TJ and I had them flip-flopped in the first place. We both would have put Old Forester. We both had Old Forester ranked higher than 80 Laws. So.
This is like, you know, it's like every now and then in the tournament, you know, you get that first round matchup that neither team really deserves. Like they both deserve to go against somebody else that they could win, but they both can't win.
I don't think that's this at all. Anyway, my number 6 was the 1792 store pick.
Okay.
TJ, number 5.
1792 store pick.
Okay.
So we're just
that locks us in as that's number 6. That's our 6th seed.
The store pick.
Yep. Brian, your number 5, sir.
E.H. Taylor, where it belongs.
Oh, dang. All right, so that locks it in as number 5. I'll tell you where the E.H. Taylor ranked in my list. A few picks later.
Did you do a blind for this, Charlie?
I did.
Okay.
Well, not a full blind. No, I was doing side by side. But number 5 for me was my Henry McKenna. So the Henry McKenna, if you're not aware, they're bottle and bond, but it's a single barrel pick. So mine and TJ's we're considering those different. So I'm ranking mine as number 5. TJ, number 4.
The Henry McKenna of yours.
Okay. Brian?
I'm afraid to say.
Dickel?
I mean, we're talking top 4 here. I'm going Dickel.
Of all the things you said, that should not be your like.
That's true. Yeah. So Dickel bottle and blonde coming in number 4.
Okay. My number 4 was TJ's Henry McKenna. So I had those just
Yeah.
one after the other. I think TJ's is just a touch better than mine. TJ, what's your number 3?
My Henry McKenna.
Okay. Brian?
I had Charlie's Henry McKenna at number 3.
So that locks in my Henry McKenna as the 4th seed. And my number 3 was E.H. Taylor, which had already been locked in as number 5 seed.
Okay.
So I'm calling an upset there. That could be the
Yeah.
5 is a sleeper.
Well, to be fair, it's going against JTS Brown. So if it doesn't win, we all have problems.
Like,
Personally, I feel like
we're not
whoever
talking
comes
about
out
winning
of
the
that
first round.
7-11
We're talking about
matchup is
going
really
making
going to potentially make some noise.
We're talking about making a deep run here. We're not talking about winning the first round. Like if it loses the first round, that's a huge upset.
I don't see it making a deep run because after the first round, it goes against Chuck's Henry McKenna, and I think
and I think it can hang. I think it's
it'll be
got it.
interesting.
Now, I mean, with your 2 pallets, I mean, anything's possible, but
That's true.
TJ, number 2, down to the final 2 here.
Dickel Bottled and Bond, number 2.
Okay.
I have TJ's Henry McKenna.
Interesting. So that puts TJ's Henry McKenna as the 3rd seed. It doesn't even matter what I say at this point.
Never does.
My number 2 seed is the Dickel also. We did a blind earlier tonight off camera. And I ranked Dickel number 1 out of a few other 13, 14, 16-year bourbons. So number 2 seed is going to be a tough one to beat. So that means the unanimous number 1. I'm just going to take this from you guys. You don't even have to speak for a moment. The unanimous number 1 is the Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond. And that is not the William Heaven Hill, just their standard Heaven Hill. The old product that I think it's TJ, correct me if I'm wrong here, 7 years, I think now, used to be white label, only sold in Kentucky. They pulled it off the market for a year. Now they release it outside of Kentucky. It's kind of a blue label. And that's the product we're talking about. $45 MSRP.
And it used to be like $25, and we stocked up on it in Kentucky, and it disappeared, and now it's just not in Kentucky anymore. Wonderful.
Well, I mean, it's the number 1 seed here, so like let's highlight the number 1 seed.
If you see that bottle, buy it. Don't question, just do it
at MSRP.
Yeah. $40 to $55. Buy it.
Yeah, there's a few good first round matchups.
Yeah. So it is going to be an exciting bracket. Tune in. We're going to release these twice a week. And there's going to be a prize, which if you've seen the seating video, which is this, you've already know the prize. If not, look at the video, which I've linked above, and learn how to be entered into the giveaway to win the prize, because we're pretty excited about this, and it's not going to be the last bracket we do. We are currently discussing doing a barrel strength bracket also, which I think will be pretty fun.
Ooh, that'd be real fun. So, before we sign off here, pick your Cinderella. Who's your Cinderella here?
Cinderella man.
I'm going to go new riff.
Okay. I'm 80 Laws.
Of course.
E.H. Taylor. Dickel. Like I think the winner comes out of the top 2 seeds.